Hi everyone, welcome to My Dreams Academy. Now we would like to discuss about TS ESET last year question paper, triple E. I mean to say TS 2020 question paper. In previous video, you saw questions up to question number 1 to question number 10. In this video lecture, you would like to see about from question number 11 to question number 20. And the 11th question, the commutator segments are insulated from each other using option A mica, option B wood, option C paper, option D glass. In this type of questions, all these elements are insulating materials only. So you need to follow elimination method based on their advantages and disadvantages or priority values. First, let us take glass. If glass is used as an insulating material, it has two disadvantages. First one is, if it is exposed to moisture, it causes flashover. So, and also if a glass is used as a insulating material in commutator segments, at that time the space occupied by the glass also increases, and also the design of a commutator segment may also change. So it is not applicable. So we will not use glass. Option C paper. When we take a paper as an insulating material, the thickness of this will be very less when compared to all other insulating materials. So and also at some time, if a paper is exposed to moisture, it causes like rust, and also it may degrade. So and when we take paper is also not used. Option B wood. When we take wood as a insulating material, the wood is of dry wood and also wet wood. This wet wood is insulation resistance have less, and this dry wood have high resistance. When this dry wood is exposed to moisture, it becomes wet. At that time, it causes electric shock. This is very much dangerous in our electrical engineering. So wood will be not used. If we take mica as a insulating material, now the properties of mica are very much better than comparing to all these three materials. Mica insulation resistance value is 1800 kilovolt per centimeter and also centimeter square, and also this mica has this efficient is also high, and also this mechanical property is also very high. When it is exposed to moisture also, it can withstand. So from all those values, mica will be the best one and also the effective one. When coming to our next question, DC series motor started at no load. DC series motor started at no load. Its speed will be no load. Speed will be option A 0, option B rated speed, option C below rated speed, option B below rated speed, option D infinite. So when we take regarding DC series motor, we will come across an important formula, that is no load speed of a DC series motor is equal to Vt by Ka into phi. This is equal to Vt by Ka into C into Ia. Here Ia represents the no load current. This no load current will be very less. So our speed of a motor, no load speed will be of very high. So from this relation, we can conclude that if DC series motor started at no load condition, the speed will be at infinitely high, or the DC series motor goes to dangerously high speed. So our option is D is right. When we take next question number 13, a 6-pole wave-wound DC shunt generator has 300 conductors on its armature. The flux per pole is 20 milliweber. When it runs at 1000 rpm, the EMF generator is given data. Poles is equal to 6. Number of conductors is equal to 300. Number of conductors is equal to 300. Flux per Weber is equal to 20 milliweber, that is equal to 20 into 10 power minus 3. And also n speed is equal to 1000 rpm. We need to find EMF. Everyone are aware of our formula. EMF is equal to 5 into ZPN by 60 into A, where A represents A is equal to P in lap winding, A is equal to 2 in wave winding. As mentioned in question, it is wave wounded. So our formula becomes pi ZPN by 60 into 2. By substituting the given values in above formula, 20 into 10 power minus 3 into 300 into P 6 into speed is equal to 1000, 60 into 2. By solving this equation, you will get 300 volts. So our option C is right, which is given as 300 volts. When coming to our next question, the question is of again from DC series motor. A 100 volts DC series motor takes 45 amps when running at 750 rpm. Its armature resistance is 0.11 ohms, while the series field resistance is 0.23 ohms. Iron and friction losses amounts to 750 watts. Shaft output power of DC series motor is, so DC series motor looks like the armature resistance given here I is RA. Armature resistance is equal to 0.11 ohms. Field resistance is equal to 0.23 ohms. Speed is equal to 750 rpm, and frictional losses is equal to 750 watts. We need to find shaft power. Shaft power is nothing but output power. We have a formula. P out, P in minus P out is equal to losses. We have losses of two types: copper losses and iron losses and frictional losses. As frictional losses is given as 750 watts, we need to find copper losses, that is I square R losses, or we have to calculate RA plus RSC. You will get R value. By calculating RA value is given as 0.22 and RS value is given as 1.3. So RA value is given as 2.2 and RS value is given as 1.3. You will get 3.5 ohms. 3.5 ohms. And now you are calculating copper losses. Copper losses is nothing but I square R losses. 45 amps current. We forgot, right? IA is equal to 45 amps. 45 amps, 45 into 45 into 0.35. You will, by multiplying this, you will get 708.75 watts. So now we have copper losses and iron losses. We need to add both copper losses plus iron losses, which is nothing but copper losses of 0.78.75 and copper losses already given in our question. So 0.7585148. We are here with losses. Now we are finding input power. P in is equal to V into I, as voltage is given 100 volts into current 45 amps. So 4500. We need to find P out. P out is equal to 4500 minus 1458.75. By calculating this, you will get 3401.1. So our option given here is option C. Option C given as 3.041 kilowatts. In this question, you need to be very much careful from resistance RA and RAC. You need to add both, and also in this question, the waste, I mean to say, the data which is not useful for our is speed. By seeing the speed value, you should not get confused. And also our current values are also given, and also frictional values are also given. Output voltage is also given as 100 volts. Current will be 45 amps. Okay, in this question you need to mainly concentrate on this resistance and also these losses. At that time you will get easily answer. Our main formula is P in minus P out is equal to losses. When coming to our next question, the 15th question is of the megger is used to measure. Generally, the megger is used to find high resistance or earth resistance or insulation resistance or any resistance. So our 15th question is megger is used to find. Option A given here as current, B voltage, C insulation resistance, option D capacitance. Once if we look into these options, option A current, this can be found by using ammeter. Option B voltage, this can be found by using voltmeter. Option D capacitance, this can be found by using multimeter. It is measured in farads. Okay, our option is C insulation resistance. Insulation resistance can be found by using megger, and also by using megger we can find earth resistance also. Generally megger is used to find high resistance. If we have a high resistance in your option, you can opt to high resistance. When we go for a 16th question, the most efficient damping option is given as air friction damping, B fluid friction damping, C eddy current damping, D gas friction damping. So in this question we need to mainly look into the elimination method. As we discussed in earlier questions, air friction damping, this air friction damping is used for only vertically placed instruments or vertically placed objects, and And when we look into the fluid friction damping, it is also come into the same category, that is air friction damping only. But if we apply a more force on air friction damping, it comes under a fluid friction damping. So, and the same disadvantage is it is applicable to only vertically placed object. Sometimes it is not possible to place an object in vertical. Based upon our requirement, it will be a vertical or a horizontal. So these two got eliminated. Option D, gas friction damping. This gas friction damping will be of no use in our electrical engineering. So we have eddy current damping. This eddy current damping have a most advantages, and also it is a efficient method of damping. Why? Because it can be placed in a vertical motion and vertical position, and also in horizontal position. And in this eddy current damping we use permanent magnet. So the losses will be of also very less when compared to air friction, fluid friction and gas friction damping. So our correct option for 16th question is C, that is eddy current damping. When we go for our next question, 17th one, kilowatt hour meter comes under, or kilowatt hour meter can be classified as option A, deflecting, option B, digital, option C, recording, option D, indicating. This kilowatt hour meter is also known as energy meter. Just to confuse or check your capability, they will give as kilowatt hour meter. Option A. When we look into this option A, deflecting meter, this deflecting meter can be used with a pointer which deflects our reading based upon our electrical energy or any quantity given to that system. Option B, digital. This digital instrument can be used to see our digital values based upon our given physical quantity or electrical energy. Option C, when coming to our recording instruments, this recording instruments records the value and gives information in a graph form or any other form. Generally the example for this recording instrument is ECG and etc. Option D, indicating. This indicating instruments indicates only the value based upon our readings or based upon our energy physical quantity given. The examples for this is ammeter and voltmeter. So the energy meter is generally of integration type. Why? Because the energy consumed for our 30 days will be calculated. That is from day 1 to day 30, the units consumed all will be recorded and calculated. That is integrated. So if in option if they have given integrated meter, okay, it's well and good, you can go. So we don't have an integration option here. So we will go for a recording. Why? Because this energy meter is also recording the units calculated from day 1 to day 30 by any house or any consumer or any industry. So our correct option is option C. Option C, that is recording instruments. Now when we are coming to 18th question, that is meter suitable for DC measurement. DC measurement. Option A, MI. Option B, PM, that is permanent magnet. Option C, electrodynamic type. Option D, hot wire type. So for generally we DC measurement and AC measurement combinedly they did not ask. They asked only about DC measurement. So you need to be very much careful. MI instruments are used for both DC and AC. Permanent magnet instruments are used for DC. Electrodynamic type instruments are used for both AC and DC. And hot wire type instruments are used for both AC and DC. So our requirement is only DC. So our option is permanent magnet, which is B. When coming to our next question, that is 19th question, the moving iron instruments have dash scale. Our question is moving iron instruments have dash scale. That is moving iron instruments have dash scale. Question number 19. Option A given as uniform. Option B non-uniform. Option C no scale. Option D digital. So moving iron instrument scale of dash type. Option A uniform, option B non-uniform, option C no scale, option D digital. So when we look into the design of a uniform scale machine or uniform type, the scale looks like this. The division of values or division of scale will be uniformly divided, or in our language equally divided, or equal quantities divided. Non-uniform scale. When we look into the design of non-uniform scale, at starting it is cramped, afterwards it is uniformly divided. The design looks like this. So it is non-uniform type. MI instruments are mainly based on, or the design of MI instruments will be of non-uniform scale. Of MC type instruments you go for uniform scale. And equation representation of this uniform type is theta is inversely proportional to I square for non-uniform, and for uniform theta is inversely proportional to I. Okay, so our correct option for MI instruments scale is non-uniform, cramped at starting and uniformly divided. And this cramped at starting is very much important. And coming to our last question, that is question number 4, damping force. That is damping force acting on a moving system of an indicating instruments only when it is option A moving, option B stationary, option C just start to move, option D near its full deflection. So damping force is nothing but which dampers the oscillation. So whenever this damping force or this damping occurs, when it is only in the moving. When it is in a stationary state, there will be of no dampings. So our right option or our simple option will be option A. Option A, that is moving. I come again. Question number 20. Damping force acts on a moving system of an indicating instruments only when it is option A moving, option B stationary or straight, option C just start to move, option B near its full deflection. This damping force occurs only when the system is moving. What is the use of this damping force? Means which damp out the oscillation. So it occurs only in the moving. Thank you everyone, and in the next lecture we will complete the remaining questions.